I've got my toddler sun hat on. I call it that because it has a string. I have garden gloves. Let's see if I remember to use them. I have a big tub of eggshells all crushed up and a couple of my garden tools. It's time. Welcome back to Bucket List Homestead. My name is Lynn. I'm in my happy place this morning. My new garden build that Dave and I worked on. You all would have saw that video today, the day I'm filming this. So today I can start. Sorry, I got to flip my hat up. Yeah, my little toddler hat. But it works great keeping the sun off a lot of me. So I'm going to wear it no matter how silly I may look. I'm planting everything in my garden beds today and hopefully my stacker pots. I'm getting overwhelmed with all that I have to do, so I'm just focusing on the garden beds, what's in that garden build today. And we're going to put up my archway. Basically, it's made out of cattle panel. Is that what that's made out of? I can't remember what you call it. It's fencing. Anyway, it was all rolled up. We got it at a yard sale a few years ago for $5, and it's come in very handy. I used it last year. I'm going to try and grow my loofah on them. And I have to say, I think I had at one point when I started on my loofah, I think there was over 30 pots. And I'm down to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, about 15. And some of them aren't looking so great. So fingers crossed. I would like to plant, ideally, 4 plants on each side of the arch. That's what I'm hoping for. So if I can get 4 good plants out of these 15, I'll be happy. And then maybe I will see if anybody wants these in the neighborhood or in the community for free if they want to try them. So that is what is on the plan for today. And I've got all my plants already in here. I brought them in here last night. Last night was the first night they stayed out, and everybody looks pretty good. The loofah looked the same as they did last night, so they don't look worse, but they don't look better. So I'm just going to figure out where I'm putting what, where, and then we can get started. Before I get started, I've been thinking long and hard about whether I was going to mention anything, but it's obviously in my heart and on my mind, so I'm going to mention it. I've had a few comments about people are surprised that I used bagged black earth soil to fill my garden beds. And I didn't realize it was going to be such a big topic. But I want to say that out of all this garden build, the soil was one of the cheapest things we purchased. Now, and remember, I saved all winter for this, knowing I was probably going to be using this. Last year with my garden beds, I did do the, put a bunch what logs I could find, grass clippings, like everything I could. I put them all on the bottom, probably a good third of the way up, and then did soil. Nothing grew in those raised beds last year that I did that in. I do think part of it was the soil that I had used, but again, it didn't work. So I knew going into this year, I was going to do something different. And then a lot of my health problems I've had since the beginning of the year, my eye, and a few other things I haven't talked about on here. My blood pressure, which I did talk about, but a few other things. I needed something easy this year, and being able to move a bag of soil myself is certainly easier than trying to fill a wagon full of it from the bulk place. Now, I've added it all up, and we've got 2,875 liters of black earth that is product of Canada for about $165. I haven't even gone through it all. I am going to top off some more in my beds, but I still have, what do we have left over there, David? At least, we still have about 750 liters of soil left to use, which I do have plans for it. I will be using it. But yeah, if we had ordered bulk soil like we did last year, that same amount would have cost me a little over $600 plus delivery, plus they said it was at least a 14-day wait before I could get it. So I think I didn't do so bad on soil. So I just need to bring it up because it's been bothering me. I don't know why. I shouldn't let it bother me, but it did. And maybe it makes me a bad homesteader because I don't make my own soil. And I am composting the chicken manure and stuff, but that takes time because you can't use it hot like you can other manures. I hope to, in the fall, finally use that manure to feed these beds going into the winter. But that's all I wanted to say. I just had to get that off my heart and mind, and I don't mean to offend anybody by saying that. So I hope you all take this the way it comes as genuine, and just kind of clear up any confusion about why I'm using it. So there's a few reasons, and that is why. So, okay, that's out of the way. Now we can start planting. Okay, so I've decided this one and the one like it. I have two green raised beds like this. They're nice and big, they're rectangles. They're going to be my pepper plants. So all my orange, I hope, all my orange pepper plants are going to go in this one, and all my red ones are going to go in the other one. So fit in there, and I actually have less red ones, so I know they're going to fit in that. I probably have a couple of too many in there, but we'll see how they go. Survival of the fittest, right? Oh, you're buried. So one down and quite a few more to go. And I know a lot of people top their bell peppers, like cut off the tops. I've done so much research over the winter. I can't even remember how many I've read. But a couple of ones I watched and I read, I can't remember who they were because I watched so many. They said if you don't have a very long growing period where you can grow bell peppers well until October, you shouldn't cut them. You shouldn't top them. I can't. We start having frost. I think our first frost is October 10th. Predicted frost. I'll have to double check. But last year we actually had one at the end of September. So I know that I pretty much have to have all my peppers done by August. So I don't, they said it will just slow them down a bit, which is great if you can go into October, but I can't. So I'm not chopping mine. I've never done it before. I was going to do it this year because everyone seemed to think that's what you're supposed to do, but I did a little bit more research and realized I'm not going to do it. I've also not planted as many as I did last year, which I lost a lot that were in those raised beds that I mentioned earlier. A lot of my peppers were in those raised beds. And we have run out of frozen peppers about 2 weeks or so ago. So I know I need to preserve a few more bags of them than what I did. So I'm hoping these are the best looking pepper starts I've ever grown. Like, they are incredible. I have had to pick flowers off of them several times. I think at least 3 times already, because you don't, I want all the energy going into the plant right now and getting rooted and everything. And then we can be happy when the flowers come out. So I'm hoping I'm going to have a really good, and if I have to supplement with my local farmers who also grow organic, then that's great too. I don't mind doing that because it's a heck of a lot cheaper to buy them in August from them than it is in the grocery stores in December. peppers are all planted, and I had a lone orange pepper. Whoops, where is it here? Right there, that I must have, just because I, transplanted or put more pots into different trays and stuff as things were dying to just have more space on my shelves. So I still have space in here. I'm either going to go buy more bell peppers. I might put tomatoes in there. We'll see. I haven't decided yet. So, but there's lots of space left, so I want to take advantage of all the space I can. And I took off my gloves. I need to feel the dirt on my hands. The gloves, my hands get sweaty. I can't stand it. The only thing bad about it is I have a white hat, so if I touch it, it gets filthy. Okay, so I need to get a drink of water. It's already very warm. What's happening is what I thought. We're pretty much skipping spring and going right into summer. We're going to be very high 70s today and going right up into the 80s and warmer the rest of the week. So I'm glad I'm getting this done now because it is going to be hot. So drink of water and then we'll figure out what we're planning next. Oh, that water helped. So I've started on one of my stacker pots because I have so many herbs that were in the trays. So I thought, okay, I'll get started on them. So I've already planted my lemon basil on the top of this one. And I have lemon balm, lemon mint, sweet basil. I think that's everything in this one. Okay, so we gotta get going. And I'm taking advantage of David, his last day off before he goes back to work tomorrow. He's weeding out that mess over there because I have more oregano that's going to go in there with the original oregano, and that's a big chive bush behind him. And there's some thyme in there too. I might as well, if I'm still using this, I might as well take advantage of it. I also have marshmallow that I'm going to put over in the original herb garden because it grows a lot taller than I originally realized. So it's really not going to work where I was originally going to put it in here. So it's going over there. I just want to say, I used these this year. I won't use them again. Didn't like them. So, as you can see, I made good use of the PVC pipe we used with the old garden. I wish I thought of this sooner. These ones over here, the ones with the strawberries in them, the tan ones, you have to drill holes in them. That particular one. So I wish we'd done that before we planted the strawberries. We're still going to try and put them there. Drill a hole in them and put the posts through them. Because I can't turn this around when we zap strap them. So, and I can see they need water. So I'm going to do another set, right, of stackers right there, the green ones. And I have some more poles over here. Actually, I think I have 2 more sets of stackers here, depending on how tall I want to get them. I'm debating about putting this one even taller. That's probably as tall as I'm going to go in that one, actually. Maybe the next one will make taller. Okay, so next is the sweet basil. And I'm stealing dirt from some of these to fill in the other ones, but these have got quite a bit of dirt in them, so I can use the dirt in these. Stacker pot planted, and truthfully I don't even know if some of these are going to do that great. They are so tiny. The starts, they did not do well in those little pots. A lot of my herbs, some of my herbs did great, some of them not so great. So we'll see how they do. I'm not ready to give up on them yet. planting. We've planted a lot off camera. It got insanely hot, just like I thought. We are skipping spring just like last year. Seriously, I've watered everything twice already and they all look like they need it again. The sun is so hot, my phone doesn't like when it gets hot, and that's what I use to record my videos. So I had to give my phone a break, but I didn't want to stop what I was doing. So I will show you everything when we're done. We took a break for lunch, and there may have been a nap on the back deck on the patio. But we're back at it. It's so hot, friends. It is so hot. But David's been helping me, and that is a huge help. You know, I've done it before. I've fallen into the pit of social media, thinking I have to do everything myself. Because I see all these other, women who are homesteading, and they have more children than me, and they have more land, and they have more animals, and they're doing it all. But the fact of the matter is Jessica from Three Rivers Homestead touched on this yesterday on her Instagram post, which she says it much better than I did. I will. But a lot of them have help, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you've got help, more power to you. I have help, and David's helping me. But they have a lot of help, sometimes paid help. And if they don't have help in the homestead, they have help for their social media, editing, videoing, all that. I'm a one-woman show. And I kind of fell into the pit a little bit the last couple of weeks, thinking that I'm not doing enough. I'm not a real homesteader. The kids were suffering if I'm out here, if I'm doing all this. I've barely seen my children other than Aiden at track meets this last week because we've been so busy building the garden. So that will be rectified this week, which is one of the reasons I'm pushing myself so hard today to finish. I'm planting everything in pots today. Anything that has to be seeds will be done later this week. But anyway, enough of that. I got this stacker pot started, and it's going to be right here beside me where my chair is, because I love herbs. If you've been here before, you know growing herbs is probably my favorite thing to grow other than bell peppers. And I've got some calendula in here for when I'm out here having my tea, and I love calendula. Basil is probably my favorite herb in the world. I'm growing 3 different varieties this year. I use it a lot. And there's some fenugreek down there, and there is some sage from Marcy from Learning Curve Acres in there. I've got lots of space still available, and I still have other stacker pots. They're filled with dirt, but the majority of them are empty. So for some reason, a lot of my herbs didn't do great this year from seed. I had such great success last year from seed with my herbs. So I am going to start more calendula from seed over in my herb garden. We did plant a lot over there off camera, but yeah, I think I'm going to treat myself to some herb starts from our local nursery here, neighborhood nursery. So okay, we are going to straighten up. What we did too is, I might as well take you over here. Over here, I don't know if you remember, we had a pallet that I had all these stacker pots on. Wasn't working, taking up too much space, and it was making them very tippy. So I've planted off a lot of these. Most of them, like there's a lot empty, like I said, so I will be filling them in. My original plot thing was I was going to do like all basil in one, blah, 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 but I've decided not to do that. And I was going to do nasturtiums in one, but I've decided not to do that. Nasturtiums are going to go over here, and sorry, hon, over here in this flower bed when I get ready to get that done. So we're just going to tie off, I think. Is that the plan? The stacker pots to these posts. The 2 tall ones by the wall. Yep, so we're going to do that. And onions are going to go in here. I think try, and whatever doesn't fit in there, I'm going to put over in this one. But first, we're going to fix these stacker pots. Well, my phone completely shut off. It got too hot. It just now cooled down and it's been over an hour. That was not good. So unfortunately, I didn't record a lot of what we planted because I wanted to get it done, but I will show you. David is just now figuring out the arch trellis, whatever you want to call it, for my loofah. That's the last thing we're planting today. I do have morning glories to plant and a few other things from seed, but that's coming later this week. So over here in the old herb garden, my shadow is going to be in here. Nothing I can do about that. So we planted some chamomile right here. That's sage from last year. My lime balm from last year. So this is new. Marshmallow, marshmallow, marshmallow. That, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's my bee balm from last year. Here, right there, that's another chamomile plant. Lemon balm, chocolate mint. I can't believe it came back, but it did. Stinging nettle, I planted that in a pot last year so it wouldn't spread. I believe this is apple mint or berries and cream mint. I'm not sure, they kind of all smell the same. 2 more chamomile. My lavender might actually be coming back. I have not had a lot of luck growing lavender around here. So my plan is I will be doing some calendula right in here, maybe like in a few spots because I love calendula. So that will be coming in. Over here is the new oregano that we planted today. My old oregano patch and my chives. Man, these are beautiful. I really need to make some things with that this week. All right, so we're in the garden. In here I have red Geneva onions. This was supposed to be green and yellow beans, a couple of the different pots that I've got onions in, but man, that was a lot of onions. So I'm either going to get more pots or I'm going to wait till the lettuces are done in here and grow some beans in here, or yeah, for fall, we'll see. I'm not too worried about it. I know beans grow great in the big pot, so I'll probably get some more big pots. I got some long keeper tomatoes. They're very sad, but I'm not giving up on them. Long keeper tomato starts. I started in here. Some more baby Romas. These ones are not the greatest ones, but they're not so bad, so I think they're going to be okay. I planted more things in my stackers. I planted sage. What else did I plant? Planted something else. Sage and rosemary. Again, my rosemary, very sad start, so we'll see what happens. In here, I planted my pink celery. Another sad start. Don't have a lot of luck with celery. We'll see how it goes. That's the pink celery right there. A couple patches of it. We'll see how it does. And sweet Spanish onions. My crookneck squash. I know they get very large. This is my first year growing them. David put this in here for me for them to grow up. I'm hoping to keep an eye on them, and as they get bigger, make some kind of sling to help support them so they don't snap off. Other than that, I don't know where else to plant them because nothing else is ready. And in the back, I just threw in some more of those Spanish onions. I hope they do okay in there with the squash. I'm not sure. These are more red Geneva onions, and these are Spanish onions. Here are some more baby Roma tomatoes. They're actually bigger than this, but you plant them deep, so they look a lot smaller than they are. And I had one lone crookneck squash, so I put it there. I don't know. We'll see what happens. These are all my peppers I planted first thing this morning. These are all the orange ones. More red Geneva onions. Bunch of red Geneva onions in this stacker pot. I don't know. Why not, right? I've got a lot of space. Might as well throw them in there. We'll see how they do. I planted sage in there. Spearmint, 2 spearmint plants, stevia, and there's a toothache plant around there somewhere. A bunch more onions. Here I still have a lot of things left to plant, but cilantro is in here. Again, very sad start, but we'll see how it does. Sweet basil, lemon balm. There's a few different things in here, and there's some empty, so we might be filling them up with some more things. These are my strawberries. My comfrey's doing great. And red Geneva onions. Here's the red peppers from this morning and the one lone orange pepper. And more Spanish onions. Did I mention there was a lot of onions? And the funny thing is I'm the only one who likes onions in the family. David eats them, but I have to puree them and stuff. The purple onion, whatever you call it, I love them raw with tacos and salsa and so many things. I think they're delicious, so I like them. And I like them small. So I'm kind of hoping by crowding them a bit, they don't get too big. I hope they still grow. But I actually like them small because where I am the only one who eats them, a large purple onion kind of goes to waste. Well, it doesn't go to waste. I save it for my broth that I make, my chicken and bone broth, but still. Okay, so all we have left to do are the loofah. I mean, today. My video is premiering this evening, so I kind of want to get ready for that too. So there's my loofah down there. And David is just making my trellis right now so we can plant them. So once that's done, 90% of my garden is ready. The rest of it will get done this week, and the flower bed maybe this weekend. I'm hoping. And then, so we'll see how we're feeling. We might turn that old blueberry patch over there into a little pumpkin patch this year, but we'll see. So thanks for coming along with me. Do you guys have anything planted? Let me know down in the comments if you've started. And until then, take care, God bless, and we'll see you all soon.